Welcome. Okay, so today is our first day live on PJ On Demand. So I'm so excited to be here to take you to the live platform. So today's workout, I'm going to be using the orange mini stability ball. This is a 12-inch ball and it's air-filled. It has a little bit of a softness to it and a little bit of texture to it. Perfect, optimal for what we're going to be doing today in Zenga. So Zenga is a mindful movement modality. Some of you that are subscribers or visiting today have done it with me before, perhaps at Praxis or through the Merrithew education. But today what we're going to do is just experience 30 minutes of a full body integrated workout using the Zenga principles. The first principle in Zenga is breathing. So let's start with some nice easy breathing. So I want you to take your ball and just place it here at where your diaphragm intersects with your rib cage. So place your hands nice and heavy and allow them to sort of rest down. And what you'll feel is there's a little bit of a bearing down sensation. As you inhale, allow the ball to go down, mimicking what your diaphragm does. And then as you exhale, bring that ball back up. Go ahead and continue with that. Inhaling through that entire path of movement there, and then exhale, coming right back up again. Inhale. This is allowing us to get into that three-dimensional breath, and then exhale, coming right back up. Think about that vertical action of the breath, the diaphragm descending downward, creating that intra-abdominal pressure, and then exhale, coming up. Once again, inhaling down. Exhaling and bringing that back up. So you should feel that sense of verticality here, that sense of elongation through the torso as you're inhaling and exhaling to come back up. We're going to do that 2 more times, inhaling in and just again mimicking what the diaphragm is doing with the ball, and then exhale, coming back up, and 1 more time. Inhale down and exhale, coming right back up. Now I'd like you to take the ball and just place it here at your arm and hug your arm around the ball, and then take a hold of the hand with the other hand. And now use the ball as a focal point to send your breath. So inhaling, and what I want you to do is just feel like you're breathing for as long as it takes for you to fill up that whole space with air. Inhale. And gentle exhale, and just sort of sense the ball hugging next to your rib cage here. Inhale. And now the rib cage, the lowest ring of the ribs, as you inhale, you're going to feel that it goes up and out, and as you exhale, it comes back down. So let's move with that breath. So we inhale, we go into this easy side bend, and you can sense that rib all the way from front to back going up, and then as you exhale, coming back down again. So initiating that breath, the movement with the breath, inhaling and exhaling. So this is less about the muscularity of this side bend and more about the expansion of the inhale up into that ball, and then exhale, coming back down again. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale up into the ball. Should feel really nice. Exhale, bring it back down, and 1 more time. So great way for you to get into this three-dimensional breathing pattern and sensing the ball as a focal point. Okay, let's go to the other side. First off, just notice what it feels like when you breathe in. You might feel that the breath automatically goes to this side of the body. Okay, this side is getting jealous. Let's do the other side. Okay, hug that ball right into your body, and then use it as a focal point to send your breath. So without any movement to start, just notice how the breath starts to follow the tactile sensation of that ball. It's a very sensory system. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Okay, so now you're thinking about that lowest ring of your ribs and how it expands upwardly. So let's do that breath with the movement. Exhale, and just notice that full expansion of this side of the body. Inhale, as you breathe in, you feel that full expansion. You feel that rib cage elevating up. Exhale, condensing back down again. Good. Inhale. And exhale back down. So when's the last time you took about 3 minutes to breathe and really just focus on that breath? That's what Zenga is all about, is giving you that mindful opportunity to really expand and use the breath for that expansion. 1 more time like that. Inhaling and exhaling. Okay. The next thing that we're going to do is take the ball and place it here at the sternum. So I want you to place the ball at your sternum. And then nice and easy, you just take your arms and let them rest on top of the ball. And have the sensation, your knees are going to soften here, have the sensation that that ball is slightly bearing down onto the bone. Okay, and then you're going to start to use the breath once again. Feel that inhalation and come into that little bit of extension, so as if you're bringing your body into that extension. I'll turn sideways, and then exhale, just an easy flexion here. So allow your breath to expand upwardly into the ball. And then as you exhale, just soften and just feel that sense of weight on the sternum. It should feel really nice. Once again, inhale upward into the ball. And then exhaling, allowing that gentle pressure of your hands and the weight of your arms bring you into this gentle flexion. Inhale up into the ball. Exhale, bringing it back down, and we'll do this one more time. So breathing up into the ball, feel that expansion through the front of the body, and then exhale, that softening and that rounding, and then coming back to center. Excellent. Now take a breath in and just notice how you feel when you're breathing now. A little bit more expansive, perhaps maybe things have opened up. Let's get into the shoulder area now. So just take the hand and place it onto the ball and have the sensation that you're literally suction cupping that ball up into your scapula through the palm of your hand, and do some easy shoulder rolls. Now, you could do this exercise without the ball, but it doesn't have the same sensation. Having the ball there to roll really promotes that slide and glide of the different bones that are articulating here at the shoulder. We've got our collarbone, we've got our arm bone, and we've got our scapula, that shoulder blade. All of these bones are working together, and the ball is really helping facilitate that glide and slide. And now just slide the shoulder up and down. Feel that arm bone up and then back down, and notice what's happening at your collarbone. Notice what's happening at your scapula. You should feel all those things moving together. They play nicely together, right, when you facilitate that through the ball. Now, let the shoulder blade go in and then go out. So now I'm sliding that shoulder blade across the body, in the back body, and coming back again. So initiating that arm motion with the scapula, in and then back out. Now, you can add a little bit of rotation if that feels like it's natural for you. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's do that a couple more times. You can allow your knees to be soft here, and one more, and then bring it all the way back. Now taking the ball and keeping it on the thigh, I'm going to turn just sideways so you can see in the quarter squat position. Now the other hand is going to go at the lower back to initiate from the lumbar spine. We come into what we call an undulation or a wave-like pattern. Inhale and exhale. So use your breath, inhale and exhale, inhale, exhale, to facilitate both the extension and that flexion. Inhale, exhale, should feel really nice. We want to encourage the fluids of the spine. Nice and easy here. Inhale through that wave pattern. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Bring it all the way back up. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So start off with just those easy shoulder rolls. Should feel really nice. Back. And again, you can place your hand here on your collarbone. It's really nice to have that tactile quality, just touching the bones, feeling how they articulate well with each other. Also noticing in your mind's eye the scapular motion that's happening in the back body. Inhale and exhale. Let's do that 2 more times, up and around. Good. And now let's go to the center. And when you do this, be sure that your arm bone's not rolled forward or back. It's right in the center of the joint as you slide and glide. We want to feel as though that humeral head is literally suction cupped right into that glenoid, that socket. Okay, up and down. Inhale, exhale, down. Beautiful. Now go into that scapular motion where the shoulder blade slides in and out. In and then out. Beautiful. Slide in and then out. Add that little bit of rotation. So this should feel like a natural action. That rotation should feel really pretty fluid. Inhale and exhale. Good. Use your breath. Inhale, exhale. One more time like that. Inhale and exhale. Now coming into that undulation, we'll place that hand on the lower back just for a sense of a tactile sensation to give you the idea that you want to move from that lumbar spine. Inhale, exhale, that lower back. Inhale, rolling through the spine. You want it to feel as natural and as fluid as possible. Inhaling and exhaling. Notice how the knees will bend and extend as you're going through that pattern. And rolling that ball helps, again, it just helps to facilitate that motion. Inhale, exhale, bring it back. Let's do 2 more like that. Inhale, exhale, back. And one more time. Inhale and exhale to bring it back and come all the way up to standing. All right, now I'd like you to take the ball and just place it on the floor in front of you. And then you're going to get you might have to hold on to something. Feel free to hold on to something if you need to. But you want to put your foot up on the ball. Now, all that's going to happen here is I'm going to roll to the outside of my foot and then roll to the inside. And just going back and forth, notice how that goes all the way up into your hip. So this is a mobilizer for the hip joint. You can lengthen that leg out a little bit as you're doing it, hands on your hips, and get that nice articulation all the way up into the hip socket. Inhaling and exhaling just naturally in your own time. So the whole idea here is to mobilize each of those joints, really to feel like you're integrating movement all the way from the ground up. One more time like that, and then we're going to go to the other side. Find your balance. Again, you can hold on to something if you need to. It's not about being in balance on one leg. It's more about the mobility at the hip right now. So feel free to hold on to something, absolutely, if you need to. So just sense what's happening. Maybe it's different on this side compared to the other side. Just sense what's happening. Can you feel the leg bone in the socket rotating inward and then outward as the foot is mobilizing on that ball? And the ball is creating ease of motion here. Think of it as that, just an ease of motion. Inhaling, exhaling. We're going to do this a couple more times. Inhale and exhale, and one more time. Inhale and exhale. Okay, holding the ball now right between your ankles. The ball is going to provide a sense of stimulus all the way up to the pelvic floor, up into the diaphragm, and I want you to lift and lower your heels, up and down. So you're just kind of hugging that ball with your inner ankles and noticing how it helps track things for you, helps keep your alignment. Up and then down. We're going to do that 4 more times, just going up into the balls of your feet, up and then down, up 2 more times, up 1 more, and now I want you to bend your knees and don't let yourself go up and down, but let your heels come up and down. Now you're loading the lower part of your calf. Now you're into that Achilles tendon area, that lower calf muscle called the soleus, up and then down, up and then down. We're going to do that 4 more times. This is 4 and 3, 2 more, 2, and last time for 1. Now, doing the same exact pattern, only now I want to turn the leg bones in, all the way from the hip down through the knee and into the feet. And then do the same exact exercise. Lift your heels and lower them. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. And you can definitely sense a different part of your lower leg being loaded with that resistance, that gravitational resistance up and down. Good. Okay. 2 more. And then we do the same thing. Bend the knees and try not to go up and down. Just lift your heels up and down. Now you're getting into that lower part of the leg and the calf. Up and down into that ankle. These are great strengtheners. Inhale up, exhale down, inhale up. 2 more. Inhale up, exhale down. Last time. Inhale, exhale down. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is start a little bit more strengthening. So I want you to take the ball and place it underneath your shin, and then come into this split stance position. You want to be sure that your hip and your knee are sort of in that nice alignment there, and that the heel is on the floor in the front. You don't want to be up on the ball of your foot. And now just add some little easy bounces. Notice the bouncing here, how it opens up that hip area. It really starts to mobilize the hip flexors in the front that might be tight. You can bring your arms into the genie position. Inhale, exhale. And now we're going to do a 3 pulse pattern going down, 2, 3, and up. 2, 2, 3, and up. That's it. 3, 2, 3, and up. 4, 2, 3, and up. Last time, 2, 3, and up. Now, from there, this is a little bit intensive. You're going to lean your body weight, walk the foot forward, lean your body weight down toward the mat. You come into this deep lunge position. From the deep lunge position, have your 2 hands on the mat, and then pull your knee in and then out. In and then out. In and then out. Really strengthening your leg that you're on in the front. In and then out. In and then out. 2 more. In and out. Last time. Now to transition, listen closely. You're going to shift all your weight into that forward leg. You're going to try to bring yourself up to fully standing and then have that ball come in front of you. Just like that, okay? I'm going to turn and face you. You stay where you are. Be comfortable there. Now, we're going to go into this lunge, little bit of a lunge pattern. It's a single leg squat, actually, but the other leg is going to go out. Go out and bring it back. Out and bring it back. As you're bending, make sure you're hinging right here at this hip joint. So drive your pelvis back, and that will help protect the knee in the front. Back and then forth. Back. So you will really only have about 20% of your weight in this ball leg. Most of it's in this standing leg. You feel that? Let's do 2 more. Out and then out and in. Beautiful. Let's do the whole entire series on the other side. Place it under your shin. Make sure you've got really good alignment here, good vertical torso. You got that front leg, the heel is down, and you just start to add that mini bounce. And these mini bounces really help with the fascial tissues all around the hip joint. So go ahead and just kind of get that little easy spring-like quality through your leg. The ball helps to facilitate that sort of buoyancy in the body. And now put the arms in the genie position. We'll go down for 3. So we go down, 2, 3, and up. Don't come up too high, just enough to feel like you're almost going to lift off the ball. 3 and up, down, 2, 3, and up. One more, 2, 3, and up. Now, to get down, remember you have to shift your weight forward, even bring your foot forward, bring your hands down to the floor. Get yourself into the runner's lunge position, and then shift all your weight into your forward leg and bring them in and out, in and out, in and out, in. 4 more, bring it in, really loading that front leg, in, 2 more, in. Now on the last one, you get your balance by shifting your weight, find a focal point on the floor in front of you if you need to, and bring yourself all the way up to standing and bring the ball in front of you. Now I'm going to turn it again and face you, and we're going to go into that single leg squat. So it's down and lift up, going down and lifting up. Remember, the most important thing here is to hinge at the hip so that the pelvis goes back and the knee will end up tracking directly in front, which is perfect. Down. You can use your arms here, and remember we added the leg to that, going out and in, out and in. Beautiful. A lot of balance work. Out and in, out and in again, out and in. Breathing is always going to help you with your stability. One more time, out and then in. Okay. The next thing that we're going to do is a forward fold. And I want to talk a little bit about that because when you stand and you do a forward fold, this is coming sort of from a yoga pose that you may have seen before. You want to be sure that your feet are quite wide. When I put my arm out like this, it's about wrist and ankle in the same place. Then I want to take my feet and I want to turn them in, but from the hip joint all the way up to the hip joint, not just the feet, so that my heel is further out than the toes. So can you feel that? Now, when you do that, what's great is you are able to then hinge better in that hinge pattern, and you'll have your pelvic bones will feel as though they're literally spilling inward. So let's put the ball here. And remember when we were breathing earlier and we had that sense of expansion? I want you to do that as you hinge. Inhale, coming into that table position. Exhale, bring it back. And let's just practice that. Now I'm going to talk a little bit here about what I want you to think about for your feet. Have the pressure feel like it's in the outside edges of your feet so that the arch of your foot is still lifted. Continue moving while I'm talking. You keep doing that. Inhaling and exhaling. The other thing you want to make sure of is that your knees are soft. You're not locking out in the knees. Use the breath here to keep that long, straight, neutral spine as you come to this tabletop position. Okay, let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling into that deep hinge and then coming back. Hips are going back, deep hinge. And then exhale. Now next time we're going to stay down there. You might have to watch one first. So I'm going to bring myself into that table position again. And then I'm going to place my hands here on the ball. From that position, as I start to roll the ball forward, my thumbs are going to go up and I'm going to come into this deep, deep position. Outside edges of the feet are still active. Arches are lifted. Knees are soft. And then come back. Now go in your own time forward and then back. Remembering to never lock out your joints, keep those knees soft, push to the outside edges of your feet, and then thumbs up, applying a little bit of pressure into the ball as you're hinging. That's going to increase that stability and integrity in your torso. Let's do 2 more like that. Down and 1 more. Now my absolute favorite is to take one hand over to the other leg and then reach across and feel that reach. Turn that arm bone external so that the thumb goes up. Press gently into the ball and then bring it up. Bring your hand to the other side and go back into the other stretch. Now feel that all the way down from your hand to your lat, right to your lower back, maybe even into the pelvis. Come back to center, go forward again, soften the knees, and now pick the ball up, put it at your chest, take a deep breath in, come back up, and bring the legs together. Excellent job. Okay, we're going down to the mat, and when we go down to the mat, we're going to start to work on some strengthening and plank type positions using the ball. What's great about using the ball in this is that it can support your body weight. So if you're not really good or successful in planks, you're going to get successful by doing these exercises. You'll see. Okay, take the ball here. We're going to put the ball at the pubic bone, have the toes turned under, put the pelvis down, and then come to the forearms. From that position right there, make sure your core muscles are engaged, and then just straighten out your legs, and you're in plank. Stay in the plank position. Now, it's pretty easy. If you've been doing planks, you know that. This is pretty easy on the ball. Lower your knees back down. However, you can make it more challenging if you really understand how to manipulate the ball. So open your feet. You'll see what I mean. Activate your shoulder girdle, activate your core, so you come up already active. Now, we're going to shift to the right and shift to the left, so we're rolling the ball from one side to the other. Now, I want you to avoid rotation, but I want you to feel that shift from one side to the other side. Here what we're doing is we're loading the lateral line, so that side body. We're loading it when we go to one side. We're using our arms to push and pull. We call that a yielding sensation, so you're yielding your energy into the mat and pushing from side to side. 2 more like that, 1 more, and then a release. Now for the release, just come back, bring the ball into your belly here, and get a nice stretch. You can let your cheek turn to one side, or you can just have your head down. Take a nice deep breath in, and then exhale, stack your spine back up. Okay, going into a side plank now. Again, the ball is going to help you, but it's also going to help challenge us. So placing the ball here at the hip, so I'm putting it right here at the side of my pelvis, and I'm going to come down onto my forearm. The 2 legs are out long, and the top leg is in front, so you're in a staggered stance position. Now, it's really easy to just hang out here. Okay, we could have a conversation, really easy to do that. However, I wouldn't let that happen. Take this arm bone right here. Make sure it's externally rotated, and you don't feel like you're putting pressure into your shoulder. Now, put your hands here for a moment underneath, and start to feel like you're being pulled up to the ceiling by a string, and lift. Now, this may feel a lot like a pushing pattern, but it's not just a push. It's actually a push and a pull. Feel that like your hand is pulling your pelvis up and then back down. So notice how that engages everything in the body, and then you release a little. So this is like turning those muscles on and then turning them off a little. Turning them on and turning them off. Let's do that 4 more times. Lift and lower down. Again, lift and lower down. Let's do 2 more. Press and lift. Remembering to have that sensation of pulling yourself up and then lower down. Second level of this would be to stack your 2 feet one on top of the other, and now what you're going to do is see if you can lift that leg up and lower down. So you're lifting while you're pushing and pulling, right? Lifting up and lower down. We call this a star plank. So you can also use your arm. So if you want to try it, you lift everything up and lower back down. Everything turns on, up, 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 and then back down again. Let's do 2 more of those. Make sure you have good footing. Lift and lower. 1 more time. Lengthen every limb of your body. Lift and lower back down. To come out of that, take your bottom leg, bring it forward on the mat, and then you're going to sit your sit bone on that side onto the ball. But the other sit bone will just be down. You're going to have that sensation that this pelvic bone is dropping. This is a really great place to get a nice side bend stretch. So up and over, and let that leg, that hip just drop down and feel like a nice stretch. Okay, come back, lift the other arm up and over, get that really nice stretch, and then come back through 1 more time, up and over here, come back, last time, up and over here, and then come back. Excellent job. Everything on the other side. So we take the ball, we place it just at the pelvis here, and then come down onto our side. Have your forearms, externally rotate your arm, have your forearm down, offset your stance so you've got your top leg in front, and then start to think about all of those components of the side plank, which are lifting your body, not just pushing, but pulling yourself up and then back down. So lifting and lowering, feeling that sense of lift and lower. Put your hand here and notice that connection of the core muscles, lifting and lowering. It's pretty intense, isn't it? Lift and lower down, lift and lower, lift and lower. 2 more like that. Lift and lower. 1 more time. Lift and lower down. Now, take your 2 feet and stack them on top of each other. Remember, this is the star one where we lift up the leg. So start with the leg, lift and lower. And what are you doing with the torso? You're still pressing and pulling up and down. Now, the arm can go with it. Lift and lower down. Lift and lower down. Yep, my voice is definitely changing. I can't fake it in the lifetime, right? You can see that mine's quivering a little bit. Lift and lower down. One more time. I can laugh at myself, it's okay. And then lower down. Now I take that leg on the bottom and bring it forward to come up into that sitting position. And let your pelvis just drop here a little bit, okay? So you feel that they're level and even maybe dropped a little bit more on the one that isn't supported by the ball. Go up and over, get that beautiful stretch. Inhale, exhale, go up and over, get that stretch. One more time, inhale, exhale, up and over, and come back, up and over, and then lift and come back. Okay, the next thing that we're gonna do is a mobilization technique. So you're gonna lie on your back, use the ball to help facilitate that. So you lie on your back, and then you take your leg and place the ball under the right knee. So you're trapping the ball right underneath the knee. So make sure you got it in there nice and tight, and then open your arms in a T position. The other leg is out in a straight line. From there, just let your knee drop over to one side and then the other. So the whole pelvis and leg is going to go together on this. So you're rotating and then coming back. Over and then come back. This should feel like a nice mobilization technique. Inhale, exhale, bring it back. Inhale, exhale, bring it back. We've got 2 more of those. Inhale, exhale, back. One more time. Inhale, and then exhale, bring it back. And then take your leg now, and I want you to drive the ball up your leg and then back down again. So you're pushing the ball up your leg. You can even lift your head and shoulders and bring your nose toward your knee and then lower back down again. Lifting up. Now add a flexed foot here. So if you flex your foot, you might even feel some stretch happening in the plantar fascia of the foot, also in the calf, as you do that flexing foot. You can even keep your head down and do that same thing. Now the next time, I want you to push up, and I want you to start pulsing, pulling the ball in toward you. So it's not really a muscular action through the leg, it's more of a bouncing sensation through the elastic tissue of your hamstring. And then from there, we just release that leg all the way down. And just take a moment to notice how that feels. Maybe that side feels a little bit longer than the other side. It feels that way to me. Okay, let's do the other side. Arms go out to the side, and then you start that rotation back and forth. Back and forth again. Back and forth. You want to keep your shoulder blades nice and secure on the mat so you have some sense of stability while you're mobilizing from the waist down. We'll do that a couple more times. Over and back, over and back, and then we bring it back to center, and we start to drive the ball up the leg and then down. In the beginning, I usually just keep my ankle in plantar flexion, which is a pointed position, just to get that first stretch, and then start flexing the foot and noticing the change that happens when you flex your foot. The heel, you start to really feel your calf, maybe feel the fascia of the foot, the plantar fascia. 2 more, up, and then holding it up there, right, you're going to add that little pulsing sensation. Okay, you feel that? It should feel really good. You can flex and do that as well. Choose which one feels best. And then you just take that leg and lengthen it out on the mat. Noticing here how each leg feels. Maybe one feels longer than the other, maybe they both feel long, but certainly, hopefully, they're feeling more mobile. Okay, the last thing I want to do is just have you lie on your side here and put the ball underneath the rib cage. So for the last stretch, we just come here, and our body, you want to make sure you're not bunched up in your shoulder. So put the ball under your rib cage and then let your hand go over. Now the foot should be flat. So the outside edge of your foot is pressing, and you're pressing through the heel of your hand. Notice as you do that, the tensional quality from your heel of your hand all the way down to your outside edge of your foot. And then breathe into that space, that entire long side body space. And exhale. One more time like that. Inhale. And exhale. Let's go to the other side, and we'll finish us off there. Okay. All right, so take that foot and keep it flat. Reach the other arm overhead and really press through the heel of your hand. Notice when you press through the heel of your hand and press through the outside edge of your foot, you can sense the entire side body, that nice tensional quality, so you feel the stretch, almost like you're pulling that elastic band, that tightness in that elastic band, and providing a stretch from top to bottom. Take a deep breath, really feel that. Exhale, and one more time, deep breath in. and then bring yourself right up to sitting. And we're going to sit in the position here, which is called horseback. So you just take the ball here and sit on it, and your legs are crossed in this position. If this is uncomfortable, you can sit in any position you want, okay? But this is a nice place to be where you can get your hips higher than your knees, and that can be really nice. Stay here, place your hands in front of you, and now pull back, inhaling, and push forward, exhaling. So you're just allowing your spine to come into a gentle extension, and then a flexion here. 2 more like that. Inhaling into that gentle extension, exhale into that flexion, and then release your arms. Take a breath in, exhale, and press your arms back down. 1 more time like that. Inhale, lift up high, and then exhale, lower back down. So if that was your first time experiencing Zenga, I hope that you enjoyed it. You have to give me some feedback, okay? So let me know how you're doing, what you're liking. If you like the Zenga, we can certainly do a lot more of this. Okay, so join me next time. Thank you for coming on a Friday. I appreciate that.